Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming on this very frigid night for this organ recital with Wendy and Yuen. And I guarantee you, you're in for a great treat. Our director of music, Wendy Yuen. Let's give a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to St. Mary Catholic Community. So tonight, we are going to enjoy a music feast. So music with a text convey a message. So what about music if there's no text? What does music mean and what does music speak to you? So tonight I'm going to invite all of you into an imaginary landscape and a sonic world and to enjoy the music. Sometimes I hear my friends saying and tell me, oh, Wendy, organ music is very loud and boring. And I hear that. And then I told him or her, oh, it's not true. So tonight I want to invite you into this musical journey and enjoy the music. And hopefully after my recital, you won't go and tell your friends that, oh, Wendy's concert is very loud and very boring. And also, I hope all of you will be like, if I invite you to my next recital, you will likely attend and you'll likely have a new perception and new perspective on organ music. And you'll find it, oh, that's quite interesting. So, are you ready? Let's start the music journey. So the first piece I'm going to play was written by J.S. Bach. And this is the Prelude and Fugue in G major, BWV 541. This was probably written in his middle period in Weimar and probably revised later in the Leipzig period. And there's a non-stop of joyful outburst of 16 notes, and you'll see all the arpeggios and then running up and down. So imagine it's like you are watching the fireworks with different patterns, different colors, and different shapes. And afterwards, after the prelude, I'm going to play a fugue. A fugue is actually a jargon, is like contrapuntal compositions, and you'll hear there's a subject in the beginning, and the subject will be like consisting of repeated notes, and then with the subject there's a counter subject, and then they are always together. So imagine you are watching a movie, the subject is the lead actor in the movie, for example, Brad Pitt. And then the counter subject always go together with the subject. So this might be the lead actress, like Angelina Jolie. So they go together. So listen carefully in the fugue and to find where is the subject reappearing. So the subject will be here in the top part, and then in the middle, bury, and then it will be in the pedal, so it will surface in different sections. So the structure of the fugue consists of 3 parts. The first part is an exposition. It's like a movie. It's like, oh, I'm Brad Pitt, and then after Brad Pitt appear, and then the next minute is like, oh, I'm Angelina Jolie, and then they acting together. So the subject and the counter subject goes together. So they are always together. So this is the first part. And the second part is called the development. So in the development, you imagine there's some kind of situation between the two, or Brad Pitt has a cousin appearing. So the subject will be like, there's an excerpted, and there's a short subject. So maybe just half of the subject will be appearing in the development. So in the final part is a recapitulation, and then it's the final entry for the subject. So the subject, Brad Pitt, finally appears again. So it's like the piece is like go into a climax, and then it ends in exuberant joy. So this is one of the most sparkling pieces written by J.S. Bach. So enjoy J.S. Bach Prelude and Fugue in G major, BWV 541. I'm going to play is a chorale prelude, also by J.S. Bach. It's based on a chorale. It's actually a hymn, and the English title is Savior of the Nations Come. You start hearing the pedal, and when you come closer to the organ, you'll see I'm using my feet, and then the feet will be playing the pedal. And the piece starts from the pedal with a walking bass. So the walking bass is like, you imagine there's like someone with a footstep walking closer and closer. So you hear this going on in the piece, and then with the right hand, you hear the melody, which is ornamented and decorated, and there's full of the sigh and longing. So this is an Advent hymn, is like the longing for Jesus Christ to come to us. So enjoy Bach chorale prelude, Nun kommt der Heiden Heiland. The next piece was written by Buxtehude, and the relationship with Buxtehude and J.S. Bach is interesting. The 20-year-old Bach walked all the way to hear Buxtehude play. And the distance, I actually Google it in today's map, is like when I walk all the way to Spokane and then walk the way back. And then Bach actually only applied for a month of leave and then to be away of his position. So just like Bach, I'm a music director, and then I applied, I go to Father Tim and then said, oh, Father, can I have 1 month of vacation so that I can go to Spokane, maybe to hear a famous organist play. So this is Bach and Buxtehude in the old days. And then Father said, okay, you go. But Bach turned out he stayed there over 1 month, and then it's like he stayed there almost 4 months, and then without the approval of his boss. So you'll be sure that J.S. Bach employer was not very happy about that, because for almost 4 months there, Bach is away. So this is the relationship between Buxtehude and J.S. Bach. So this is a Buxtehude. So he is a very important Danish German composer who exerted a great influence on Bach. So this is his Magnificat. And you will be hearing different sections in this piece, and I will be using different stops and different colors on the organ. So use your imagination. This is Mary's song. So after Angel told Mary that you are going to bear a son and his name is Jesus. So you can imagine how Mary feels. It's like, oh, what's going on? But he is blessed, but he is overjoyed. So all the mixed feeling. So enjoy Buxtehude Magnificat. This is hymn. The English translation is "Deck thyself, my soul, with gladness." So this was played and this is sung in the communion. So the text is like the music displays the deep joy because Jesus is present in the communion. So you will hear this is a trio, and the trio is like 3 players are playing together. So imagine there's a first violin, there's a second violin, and there's a cello. So you'll be hearing the upper part, there's an intimate dialogue between the first violin and the second violin. So enjoy this trio by Homilius. composers have something in common. The first point is they are both French composers. The second one, they are both 20th century composer. And they are also Paris Conservatory Prize winners, and they have a prestigious composer's mentor. And this is Paul Dukas for the composition, and Dupre to learn organ. And they are both devoted Roman Catholics. So the first composer is Longley, and the first piece you are going to hear is called Song of Peace. And it's from the 9 pieces which he has been written. So the main difference between Longley and Messiaen is Longley was blind when he was 2 years old. So later when he was interviewed, and he said this kind of thing: if I had been sighted like a normal person, and then I would have inevitably followed my father's work path. But now I believe that the Virgin Mary had other plans for me. So he actually viewed his blindness as a vocation for his composition and for his organ playing. So this piece is written in 1945, so you could imagine it's a piece in the midst of the war and a divided world. You will be hearing in this piece there's like out this, imagine in my world, it's like there are 2 forces, and you can hear in the beginning there are some very dissonant chord, and it's like you are invited into this mystic world. But then the pedal, there's a melody in the pedal which is like a laser beam, it's like going up. And then it's concentrated laser beam, so I would describe it as a force, and it's actually the peace. So for people who have faith, and then we believe that this is a God's peace be among us. And then you will be imagine peace. If the world is peaceful, we won't need peace. So it's peace in this divided world, and in the midst of war, and in the midst of division. So enjoy this Song of Peace by Longley. was written by the French composer Messiaen, and this is Les Anges. My French is not very good. It's called, the English translation are the angels. So in the work, and it is actually the birth of the Lord. There are 9 meditations and all about narrating about the Christmas story, about how Jesus was born, and then the different characters and different persons who is in this narrative. So the angels. And the Luke chapter 2 is actually, it's say, a multitude of the heavenly host praising God and singing glory to God in the highest. And so this is an excitement, and then it's a joyful piece. And so imagine how's the angels singing. So Messiaen used a very good imagination, and then you will be hearing like the angels is like preparing to fly, and then they are flying, and then they gain the momentum, and then maybe it's my imagination. Oh, they are a little bit tired, so they need to slow down and then maybe getting a rest. So if you hear a very long note, then they are like, oh, let's take a rest. And then they gain the momentum again. So it's like flying around, and then the different shape and different configurations. So enjoy Messiaen, the angels. And the following piece is also written by Messiaen, and is the eternal purpose. And this is a piece, it's like the Messiaen invited all of us into this mystic world and a meditation, because we are all God's children. So this is a profound love and a mystery that we could be God's children. So enjoy the 2 piece by Messiaen. to J.S. Bach again. So what is the relationship between Mendelssohn and J.S. Bach? And actually, Mendelssohn helped revive the Bach music during the Romantic time. And actually, Mendelssohn performed St. Matthew Passion in 1829. And our program ends with Mendelssohn's first sonata in F minor. I'm going to play the last movement, and this is, you can hear the exuberant joy in the music. So very similar to what Bach was written in the Prelude and Fugue in G major in the beginning. And we are so joyful, and then Christmas is coming, and Jesus Christ is born. So let's enjoy the piece. Mendelssohn Sonata, first sonata in F minor, the last movement. hope you have a wonderful holiday and Merry Christmas. And I really hope that you won't tell your friend that, oh, organ music is boring, and oh, organ music is loud, and oh, I won't go to any of the organ music recital. So listen, and then I invite you to enjoy more organ music. So the church, we are planning to organize more concerts next year, so we'll be inform you when this is the opportunity you come and enjoy the music and the love of music of all the musicians that we want to share with all of you. So really, I thank you for coming to my recital and to enjoy this musical feast and this music journey. So there's a refreshment out there, and then we can chat, and then yeah, if you have questions to ask me, and then you can feel free to come. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.